Good job. Very good job.
Say, I wanted to get your take on the meltdown at Harvard University Law School because
Which one? Like this one or the one 5 minutes ago? Because there's, I mean, I mean, it's basically a volcano. It's just melting. Yeah, it's just always melting.
No, you're right, Alex. They are kind of mercurial. They do. I have to take a drink of that one. That was good. No, they do. They do
Johns Hopkins meltdown.
Yeah. The big kerfuffle that's going on there, for those of you who don't know, Harvey Weinstein, he's a pig. He's a Hollywood pig. Disreputable individuals raping women who are trying to get jobs as actresses and whatnot in Hollywood. Guy's a scumbag from the day one. Okay, but every scumbag who's a citizen of the United States, every pig who is accused of a crime is entitled to a legal defense. This is part of our system. Yep. You and I will agree on this. Everybody out there who's a reasonable person, all of our listeners.
Every person who understands that the Constitution's a thing.
Right. No matter how bad, serial killers, Ted Bundy everybody has a right to this.
Osama bin Laden got it.
But Harvard Law School has risen up in righteous indignation. They've wrapped themselves in righteous indignation because their dean, a fellow by the name of Mr. William Smith, who is the dean of Winthrop House. Now, Winthrop House, I don't know if you know this or not, but Harvard University is organized very similar to the Oxford model, where their where their bums are so tight. You see, H-O-M-O. Right. Anyway, so there are only 400 students in Winthrop House, and Mr. Sullivan and his wife are the deans and the overlords of this. Well, anyway, the students, of course, mostly social justice warrior kids that are too rich for their own britches. They've risen up and they have said that it's a disgrace that somebody from Harvard Law School, the dean of Harvard Law School, one of the deans, is going to actually defend Harvey Weinstein. Now, I don't know what your take is on this, but how does it, if this is the case with Harvard Law School, what can the other law schools be like? I mean, what has happened? How did these kids get into law school?
Out of interest, are they arguing that he should get a bad lawyer?
No representation. He should be found guilty on an accusation.
Let me see. If we look here.
It's your Constitution.
Oh, it says right
Amendment 5.
No person shall be held for capital otherwise infamous crime unless on the presentment or indictment of a grand jury.
Yeah.
Okay. Nor shall private property be taken in public use, and no double jeopardy. Not can be compelled to against yourself, nor deprive life, liberty, or property without due process of law. I mean, it says right there. It's right there. And then, and the Sixth Amendment says, all criminal prosecutions, the accused shall enjoy the right to a speedy and public trial by an impartial jury of the state. And because, it's pretty easy to find people that are impartial about this whole Weinstein business. But, they're going to do their best and be informed of the nature and have look at this. It says to have compulsory process for obtaining witnesses in his favor and to have assistance of counsel in his defense. I don't know. I guess Harvard Law School can't see that last sentence of the Sixth Amendment. It's just, it's buried in the in the law deep down there. It's like a tiny little loophole. Give me a break. These people.
Who's teaching constitutional law at Harvard Law School?
Native Americans, like Elizabeth Warren.
Yeah. Wasn't Obama? Didn't Obama teach constitutional law at Harvard Law School, or was it Yale? Was it Yale or Harvard? I forget which one it was. He taught constitutional law. I don't know which one. But I mean, somebody has to. I mean, at least Obama knew the Constitution. Okay, he didn't always defend it, but at least he knew it. right? And
Yeah,
he could teach
I
you.
mean, all these. That's
Give
a
the guy
fact.
credit.
Is all these students. You better believe they have read it. But what I think, this is just what I think, is that they're being taught not necessarily to respect what it says, but rather to find a way to move around the words of the Constitution to insert their own individual
Well,
opinions.
what they're worried about is, and the article in the New Yorker magazine reflects this. I've got it on the screen next to me here. What the students are worried about, and even some faculty, by the way, it's not just students. What they're worried about is that Harvey will get a really good lawyer that will get him off or mitigate his sentence or mitigate his crimes.
I mean,
So they want him to have a public defender. Some of these students, in fact, they're not arguing that he should have no representation.
Okay.
They want him to have a public defender because they think that the public defender will not be able to get Harvey mitigated, his crimes mitigated under the law.
okay,
So
well, that's a whole different ballgame right there.
Well, the reason they think this is because they falsely suppose that only rich people can afford good lawyers, which is not true. Many good lawyers do pro bono work on very high profile cases. That's how they, like Gloria Allred, for instance, whom I disagree with, but she does do a lot of pro bono cases, especially with women who have been raped. And she does that. She doesn't charge any money. And this dean is not charging any money either. So it's not that Harvey Weinstein is paying him. He's not paying him, right?
Well, I mean, there's also groups like ACLU, Alliance Defending Freedom. Those are groups that will rush into your arms and take up your case if they think that it's part of their value system. All the time. Now, I can totally understand how students might feel uncomfortable. Oh yeah, the dean is defending Harvey Weinstein. I mean, I feel real bad for the attorney who defended Osama bin Laden.
Yeah.
I mean, can you imagine defending that guy?
Yeah.
Oh, well, maybe he doesn't deserve capital, but life imprisonment. Yeah, I mean, I can't imagine that. So
the last thing I want to bring out is that the last point that the protesting offended students want. One of the reasons that they cite is because they're afraid that the hashtag #MeToo brand will be damaged if people just don't believe the women. They just have to believe.
Look, after Christine Blasey Ford, they torpedoed that sucker almost as bad as the poor Arab Spring got torpedoed by brutal dictators. I mean,
Weinstein he wrote to the judge. He said many of these people have lied. So what these students are afraid of is that maybe some of them have lied, and that's going to cheapen their brand, their hashtag #MeToo brand, because they want a world in which anything with a penis can be sent up the river merely on accusation. Period. That's what they want. They don't want equity. They don't want law. They don't want justice. They want power. Power. That's all they want.
I have all the sympathy in the world for the essence and the spirit of the Me Too movement, but the actual people that are involved in the Me Too movement, they're horrible.
They're making it worse for cases of legitimate rape. They're making the situation intolerable for women who have actually been raped and have the evidence for it.
Yes. And I don't think there's much more to be said that hasn't been said already.
No.
But
I wanted to get your take on it, and I'm glad on that particular point that we agree. By the way, Harvard has stood firmly favoring Dean Sullivan, and Dean Sullivan is going to continue. He's not backing down. He's not apologizing.
So wait, you're telling me they're taking the administration is taking the side of? I mean, this is not even a conservative side. It's just. It is the Constitution. It's not. There's not even this is not a conservative or liberal. It's
not. No, it's not.
There's so many issues that are like that nowadays. It's uncanny.
Yeah.
The Constitution and preserving it should not be political, but ironically, I guess nowadays only one side is interested in conserving the Constitution.
Unfortunately, we're going to keep an eye on the Weinstein case. We'll be back to this. We're going to revisit this one, but we're also going to do some more on law schools, the situation in law schools, and what's happening with the courts.
You want me to go to law school, don't you?
You should get a JD degree.
You're kind of like pushing that
Yeah.
on me. Yeah.
Yeah, I am. I'm sorry about that, folks, but I am. Anyway,
Hey,
big
do
in
not
Japan.
violate my age.
Konnichiwa. We're very big in Japan. Thank you, your Japanese audience. You're really wonderful. Thank you for all your emails and your comments, and spread the word. Oh, we're now accepting sponsors on Podbean.
Yes.
We have one sponsor for $10 a month. $10 a month. So that means you get $5 and I get $5. Okay.
Okay. And
That's
then
enough
we
to-
can. And then
That's enough to buy me a drink.
we can trust me. Yes, that helps fund the show because that's where most of our budget goes into.
It
is
goes
keeping
to
you
buy alcohol
constantly drunk.
and your food.
Folks, in all seriousness, we really appreciate all your contributions because it does really help our situations and it does keep this channel alive and well.